Yes, it's like I always like have this example, like people it's very common to see people saying that, oh, I'm so fat. They just like maybe 2 pounds over their normal weight. It's so exaggerating, and it's like, well, tell me, that's your assumption that you are fat, but then what's the fact? Oh, just 2 pounds. Oh, okay, so that changed everything, like it's just we tend to go too far and so hard in ourselves
Yeah,
that sometimes like we
so
start to
critical.
believe that, yeah, being so critical. So uh and another thing that I say is always like visualize yourself in your best, how
Mm.
your successful future self would do, would think, would behave, like that gives you a bit of perspective and how you want to show up for yourself and for the people around you. So when you're thinking,
Mm.
well, okay, my successful future self like would be a billionaire, would be like I don't know
I received
in
that, Azu. I received that. Go ahead, say it again. No, but you're right. We have. I like how you're mentioning that. It's like what does your future self look like? A successful future self look like,
yeah.
and stay in that image, to become that image, and then bring that image into reality. Because if I think I'm stupid, if I think I'm a loser, then you become that. But if I
Mhm.
feel if I believe that I'm going to be successful, I believe that my business is going to thrive, I believe that those 2 pounds are going to fall off, it happens. Of course, with
Yes.
work, but you know what I mean? It happens.
Yes, it happens. It's something like Dr. Joe Dispenza that I follow him a lot says like you become your thoughts, you know?
Mm.
So that's why we have to get in the habit to to live by our future successful future self standards. When you have this in mind, then you're going to shift because you're going to say, well, my successful future self is it has like a um, this initiative. It's living in a standard that I want to achieve this and being determined to do it. So then you change that. Absolutely, you're gonna say like, man, like that's true. I have to shift that because if I want to
Yeah.
become a better version of myself, I have to jump out of uh,
Comfort.
the comfort zone and the habits that I have, and they are stopping me to be that successful future self.
Yeah. It's so important, right? And it's in the being consistent with it too. You can't just give an effort Monday and then in April and then show up trying to do it in July. It's something of consistency too, of being consistent, of showing up as your future best self. Would you agree?
Yes, absolutely. And that's where a lot of people get stuck because, like, one day, okay, I'm so inspired, but the second day, I'm not that inspired. And the third day is like, oh my God, I'm going to leave this, I'm going to quit. So, but that's why it has to become an habit, like I always recommend to have a time for yourself, to block a time for yourself, like either 5, 10 minutes, just to do some meditation, visualization, and get into really, really center and grounded and what you want to do that day, that that baby step that you want to take every single day to achieve your biggest goal. Yeah, sometimes when we set up goals, it's like, oh my God, it looks so far and so hard, but it's not, because if you have a baby step every single day, then you will see the results.
Mm. It's not making it overwhelming. We can get
Yeah,
overwhelmed, but
exactly. That's the main
it,
thing. Yeah.
yeah, it's great to have the big vision. It's great to have the great vision, but you have to take the daily moves, the right now moves. And I think sometimes as entrepreneurs, we're big, we're big thinkers. We are visionaries. We vision, right? We always, ooh, we're gonna create this big company. But where I think a lot of times entrepreneurs, especially those that I've worked with, a lot of time it could be, okay, let's focus on what we need to do today. Let's focus on the three calls that we need to do this morning, or the four places that you need to contact to get the contract, so you can go, you can get closer to your big goal. So it's those small steps. You're right. Those small steps really matter in front of to ensure the consistency of those small steps to get to the big vision, to that big goal. So I mean,
Yeah.
this is some great things. That how do you connect all of this with, and emotional intelligence? How is that important to all of the things that we've talked about to ensure success?
Yes, I think I have a framework that I work with my clients, that the best thing to do is to be self-aware. When you're self-aware of what's stopping you and that you are holding yourself back, then we have a win, because now you will be able to recognize what's happening and then step into your power. Then you claim back your power, going from um, being in the state of kind of victimized to take full responsibility, but at the same time, it's taking your power back. You're
Mm,
not giving your power away to blaming others or other people or other situations, and you're self-aware, and then you're like, you know what, this is my life, I can do this. So that's the first step. And then the second step is like releasing all patterns that you've been carrying for years and years. This is very important and crucial, because we have to stop with all the old stories, because they are not helping us to get any better. So
yeah.
it's very important to find tools for you, the best tools that you, because everyone is different. So you will find different tools that will help you, like either be like exercising, it could be like a hobby, painting, art. It could be like a meditation, as I said before, visualizations. It could be
Mhm.
breath work that is being like very popular. Whatever you choose to do, like to start releasing all that old energy, all those beliefs, and then you will be ready now to jump and work into your successful future self standards. Now you're ready, and the only thing to work with is consistency, and you do it through baby steps. But it's important to understand that external events, we cannot have control of external events. We just have control in how to react to those external events.
Mhm.
And that's the
Good
main the
stuff.
main like, it's like the heart of my work, um, to build this competence. And it's something like life is throwing to you challenges. They understand and shifting that they are not because you have bad luck or something like that. It's just because to a certain level we need to get some challenges to jump to the next level. So
Mhm.
it kind of normalize a challenge and being prepared through that and how to handle them. That's something that is very important for me in my job, that builds your emotional intelligence, that is going to uh, build your emotional intelligence muscles. So you will be really prepared, even though if there is a situation that you think it's something out of your control, but you will manage better yourself,
I love
and
it.
you will
I
help
love it.
others.
I love it. Azuzu, so it's amazing how you're saying that, because it is true. Without that self-awareness, without starting, transformation begins with me. I have to know that I need that work. And a lot of time is just admitting that. You can't even embrace it until you admit, okay, you know what? Yeah, I've been eating a couple more cheesecake than I should. So I need to go, understand. I need to start working on the workout. Yeah, you're right. It's so important for us to just admit, but you can't admit unless you're aware that this is not serving you anymore, and then finding, and you're right with when it comes to the different tools. Something that works for you may not work for me. So it's important to do the work, and really start, taking the action. I think that's the key word here. Taking action so the changes could happen. I mean, these are some fantastic, tips and strategies, Azu, that you're sharing with the audience. If someone wanted to reach out to you, so to learn more about, emotional intelligence, mindset, working, I know you're a therapist. How can they reach out to you?
Yeah, I have my website that they can. It's now under like changing some things, but they can find me at azulopezcoaching.com.
Mm,
Uh, it's Azu with a Z and Lopez, Lopez again, coaching.com. And they can find me as well on my social media at Azu Lopez .co. They can find me, and my email could be like hello um, as lopezcoaching.com. I will be
I
really
like
honored to reply some questions. I have a lot of free trainings there as well that I'm sure that you would love to see all this. I cover all these topics that I'm very passionate about. So I'm looking forward to meet your audience if they want to take a look or reach out
Yes.
to me. I'm so glad. I'm going to be delighted to help them out.
And I can really see, especially a lot of times, we don't know what we don't know. And
Yes.
so a lot of times, before we can even grow, we need to know. That
Yes.
I didn't mean for that to rhyme, but it did. But it's 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 interesting that going through those exercises that you mentioned, the self-awareness, and emotional intelligence, even having that emotional attachment sometimes to things in the past that's holding us back. A lot of those things need to be identified. You can't fix it or close a gap unless you identify, gosh, this has been holding me back. I didn't realize I was attached to this trauma that happened 6 years ago. There's so many different things that I can see where your coaching and emotional intelligence can help the person navigate through that journey for them. And hopefully the goal is to have an inspired journey, right, at the end, and be
Of
able
course.
to achieve their goals, whatever that goal is, personally, professionally, business building, as an entrepreneur. But at the end, we all have a goal. We all have a dream. It's just a matter of how are we pursuing that dream. Are we pursuing it meekly, boldly, or do we even know what to pursue, or do we even know where to start? And I think by them connecting with you, that's a great start. So
Yes.
thank you for sharing that for us. Thank you for sharing.
No, I'm very, very honored to do this. Is my pleasure. I'm so happy to bring some golden tips for your audience. So happy, very happy. Thank you so much.
Thank you. You're welcome. Well, everyone, if you notice Azu, she just have that soothing spirit, doesn't she? She's bringing us information that when it comes to being aware of who we are, sometimes we want to go places and we don't even know who we're taking to those places. And so it's so important for us to know who we are as we're going to these places, whether it's in our dreams, whether it's in our past to come into our future. But it's important to know where you're starting so you can know where you're finishing. I ask you to look into what it is that you want, what it is that you want to accomplish, but most importantly, figuring out exactly how you're going to start. With that, I say thank you for joining us here at Your Inspired Journey. I'm Carla Andrews, your host, and I look forward to seeing you soon.